as to whether, is it on? Are you all right now?
It is on.
Yes. Okay, I say let's speak about the legal counsel first. As I said, she handled quite a lot of things. For example, she was the one who dealt with court cases relating to the commission. Quite a number of cases, you know, and you'll find it in the main report. Attacking, if I may use that word, at the commission and asking certain things to be removed or banned or something. And he personally would appear in the High Court to fight the case, High Court or Court of Appeal, any court. That was one of her duties. Whenever the case was decided by the court, mainly the High Court, he would definitely send us a copy and explain briefly what happened to all commissioners. Yeah. Often she is called for meetings, you know, when we have a very elaborate matter. All of us will join in before you come to certain conclusion. That was, if there was something very strange amongst the delivered by the investigators or anything, we would consult. In fact, I would say that it was almost a daily consultation we had. Or maybe actually she very often came to consult with us. But she did not attend every meeting of the commission. The commission had a lot of meetings without the legal lead counsel, just because it was not considered necessary.
So would you say that the 3 units, that is the commissioner's unit, the lead counsel and investigative unit, and the secretariat unit, worked independently from each other?
Of course, but they consulted.
And how was that consultation done? That is what
they either join the meeting, or once in a while they write. For instance, okay, let's take the legal counsel again. There were tons of exhibits. Now, some exhibits had to be, from her own point of view, entered as exhibit. So, and it would have been impossible for us to take all those exhibits the regular way. Yeah. What she would get prepare an affidavit, get somebody to swear it, and then in most of the time she saw the affidavit. It was brought to us because I was the chairman, and not only that, but as I said, I was the only person who was legally qualified amongst the 3 commissioners. Then she would ask for permission in that affidavit for a particular well, not the exhibit, for a particular document to be accepted as an exhibit. A lot of cases went that way, and that was one of her functions. I suppose she will get the information from the investigators and other people. Okay. That's how we dealt with it. Some of it was oral, the others in writing. All right.
Thank you. I would refer the committee here and yourself, Mr. JANNEH, to the first document, the document marked SBS1, which is, for the benefit of the record, here. SBS1 is a statement accompanying the submission of the witness. Yeah. The statement details out is entailed in the submission of documents as well as other facts.
SPS back. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Firstly, I would refer you to page 4.
Yes, I've seen.
Specifically to paragraph 10.
Paragraph 10, I've seen. Some copies of valuation report are available in the submitted document to the select committee, the Secretariat and Security.
If you could speak to the mic.
Yes, please, sorry. Yes, okay, you want me to read
Yes, this is good.
Some copies of valuation report are available in the submitted documents to the select committee. The Secretariat and Security may be of help. Yeah.
Mr. Janneh, could you clarify what the last sentence, who you are referring to as Katie?
Well, the people who were under the lead counsel dealing with security, but I believe I should have put investigators who
Investigate.
Yeah.
So is it in substitution of the word security or in addition to?
yes, in substitution,
In substitution.
because security they were not
Yes. Good.
involved.
So for the record, Honorable Chair,
Yes, that's what I meant.
in paragraph 10, we would change the word security to investigate.
Yeah.
Now, it is clear that the investigation team reported to lead counsel.
Yes.
Could you guide the committee as to who was the head of the investigation team? Or is it the fact that lead counsel, in fact, led both the legal teams and the investigation team?
He led both within the structure of the commission. I tell you, this in fact was quite deliberate. We never sat together with the investigators. Sometimes we call the security people to come to deal with so many matters here and there, the guards and so on and so forth. But with the investigators, it was deliberate not to have anything to do with them personally, face to face, because we were trying to avoid prejudice and so on. We wanted to become highly apparent that we were not at all influenced by security directly coming to us. I tell you, the main thing with security, really, for us, sorry, not security, investigation, was to get information. And they would get it either by investigating general, like CID or something. We have some of the people employed. I think they were people directly from the IT of police and maybe some other. So they had a way of investigating and trying to get the truth from people. Then they will supply it to the lead counsel. And then if it was material, it was a council to bring it up. Bring it up, not there and then, through papers and so on, but bring it up in public whilst she was, well, not prosecuting, of course, while she was presenting the case, and there was a lot of cross-examination and so on.
Indeed.
So generally, you saw documents coming from investigators in court. That was generally. Not once in a while, but that was very rare. You saw the document directly. Apart from the documents that were put in evidence through affidavit. As I said, it was some people were querying that, oh, no, this is not, outsiders. This is not a court of law, This is this is a commission of inquiry. But there was nothing to restrict us to use our own rules because we thought that that was the fairest thing. That is why, unlike other commissions, similar commissions of inquiry, like, for instance, the Alkali Commission, nothing of the sort happened there. And even the present Lands Commission, I've been watching, but I have not seen any of the witnesses who are really, let's face it, they are really potential accused, not really witnesses. I've not seen any of them cross-examining the witnesses. Now we said, no, this is a very serious thing. Let's get those who want to have counsel and cross-examine, let's give them a chance. And you can see that happen with so many of them. It happened with Samba, it happened with Pazi.
Thank you.
That was why we use that method.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I will take a break from your first statement, which is marked SBS 1, and proceed to your second statement, which you signed today, which is SBS 1A.
SBS
1A.
All right. Yeah, it does sound today. 1A. Is it? Oh, I don't think.
Do you have a copy of it?
Yes, I have a copy, but not marked. I don't think. Has it been marked? No, it has to be marked. Mine also is not marked.
Please mark it.
Huh? This morning, yeah. Yeah. SPA, yes, I have it now. Yes, 1A.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Mr. Jara, if you could read the 6th and 7th paragraph.
6 and 7, let me emphasize an important distinction in our mandate. As soon as we delivered the report to the President of the Gambia, our responsibilities as per the terms of reference were complete. It was the government that subsequently handled the sales of land. Yes. Sorry.
Sorry, could you read paragraph 7 as well?
Paragraph 7. However, I must clarify the difference between recommendations and orders in our report. Some properties, not landed properties, but others, we ordered their sale. For the rest, we made recommendations which the government would choose to act on or not act on. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. JANNEH. So I would require you to have both your statements in hand with the context of paragraph 7 of your first of your
My
statements.
7 and
Both your statements. So the statement marked 1, SBS 1,
yeah.
and the statement marked SBS 1A. I believe the statement marked SBS 1A is the statement that you are holding on your right.
That's the one I'm holding it.
The statement that accompanied the document.
SBS 1, I have to. Yeah.
We could go to the third page of SBS 1.
SBS 1, the third page, yes.
The paragraph indicated as C.
C, yes.
It's quite a lengthy paragraph, so I will save you of the burden of reading it verbatim. However, with the context of paragraph C, I believe it's sub paragraph C, 6th C, and paragraph 7 of SBS 1A,
Yes.
where you have alluded to interim orders
Yes.
in both paragraphs.
Yes. Can you permit me to read 7? I think I've just read.
Of course.
Yeah, okay. However, however, that paragraph 7 in SBS 1A.
Yes, paragraph 7.
SBS 1A. However, I must clarify the difference between recommendations and orders in our report. For some properties, not landed properties, that is excluding landed property, we ordered their sale. Okay? For the rest, we made recommendations which the government would choose to act on or not. Yes.
Are you ready for the question?
Yeah, you said that with SBS 1, paragraph C,
Yes.
whether it is called an injunction or the court, and therefore the commission by virtue of section 202 of the Constitution is empowered to make interim orders. As appears in volume 1 of our report, the legal challenge to this adjournment was hopelessly relevant. I need not waste time.
You need not, yes.
I know what follows.
Fantastic.
Yes. What do you want?
The committee would like to be guided
Yeah.
on the issue of interim orders, not to go into the specifics of this particular order referred to in your paragraph 7 of SBS 1A, which is your second statement, but to speak to the generality of the power, especially as it pertains to the power given to the Commission of Inquiry.
Yeah. Yes, what's the specific question, you said? You want me to make a comparison?
To comment on the powers of the Commission as it pertains interim orders.
Okay,
Basically,
it's all right. As well as
however, caution
as it pertains to 297 in SPS 1A.
indeed.
Okay, well,
However, if you there was a caution in the question not to go into the specifics of it, because we would revisit the specifics of the interim orders on a later day.
All right. Now, I believe from your question that in the first place you want a distinction between an order and an interim order. They are not the same. With orders, generally, it is taken that that could be made at any time in order. And as I've explained in paragraph 7, the order, an order must be distinguished from a recommendation. Now, an order is you must do it. A recommendation is the choice is thrown back to you. We recommend, but it is your choice to do what we have recommended or not to do it, and you take another course. That is the perfect distinction between order and recommendation. Now, an order can be made, of course, by any commission. Now, but interim order now, the reason why interim orders are here is the same reason why High Court can make, or any court actually, can make interim orders. Interim orders are made particularly for the reason that unless you make the interim order, interim is just for the time being, never mind the Latin. That unless you grant an interim order, some harm can affect the property we are talking about. Now, I made the distinction between landed properties and other properties because it is very rare for the court, in the courts, let alone the commission, for the courts to make an order regarding landed property or real property. The reason is that with real property, it's there. Nothing will remove it for the time being until you have terrible disaster of some sort. It's there. But with the other kind of property, let's say chattels like tables and cars and so on, it could be harmed either by somebody ruining it through sabotage or somebody disposing of it, or it could be because once it is there, it could get spoiled. For instance, like tomatoes, they get spoiled until you make that's probably one of the best examples. You have tomatoes, you don't make the interim order, it gets spoiled. That is what is interim order.
So to prevent it from perishing.
Perishing, yes. That's a good word for it. Mm-hmm. Perishing.
Could you guide the committee? You had mentioned that preservation can be made for certain assets such as tables and cars.
They're chattels.
Could you expound on that a bit?
On chattel. Yes. Well, using chattel is the best way of making a distinction between real property and personal property. All other properties are personal and there are legal effects. But I know I didn't come here to give a lecture, but this is very simple to me. Now, real property usually is land. Okay? But leasehold property also is land. But a distinction is made between leasehold property. And therefore it is called chattel real. Yeah. Like if I have a lease over a land, I don't have real property, but I have chattel real in the law. That's why our favorite word is landed property, because it takes in both.
It considers both.
Yes.
Fantastic. I would, however, like you to focus, Mr. Janeh, on movable property, such as tables, as you mentioned, and vehicles.
Yeah.
How would, you had mentioned that if there is a risk of damage,
Yeah.
or loss,
Or theft,
or
any kind of damage. If there is
can you expound on that a bit for the benefit of the committee?
yes, all right. You have let's take a car. A car can be stolen.
Perfect.
A car can be sabotaged. The elements can ruin a car. So many vital, so many examples, really. Anything that can do harm to a car, for instance. I'm just taking the car as an instance.
Fantastic. And because the committee understands that such terrain, the legal terrain, comes as second nature to you, I would invite you to look at section 202.
202. Yeah, 202, yes. Section 202 itself.
Yes, for the benefit of the committee,
Yes.
if we could have a discussion.
Yes, a commission may make a full and impartial investigation into the matter in respect of which the commission is established. That's one. That's A. B. Furnish in writing a report on the result of the inquiry, including a statement of the, that's general, that's it. So I suppose you are concerned with A.
Well, I concerned. All I wish to do is to invite you to aid the committee on what it says. Of course, I know that neither you or the committee were bestowed upon this mandate, but to just aid the work of the committee in understanding the provision of section 2021 in its relation to section 222.
In relation to 202,
Oh, yes, they must be read together. Agree.
well, let me read to first. A commission of inquiry shall have all the powers, rights, and privileges, here we go again, of a judge of the High Court at a trial in respect of enforcing the attendance of witnesses, okay, compelling the production of documents, yes, got it, issuing a commission or request for the examination of witnesses abroad and make interim orders. All right. So I suppose what you are saying is this, that 202, subsection 2, section 202, subsection 2, only gives interim, only gives the commission power to make interim orders. Am I right? If not, can you be specific as to what you want? If that is what you want, then if that is your view, then I will elaborate. Or you do not take a view?
I do not take any view. In fact, I wish to crave your indulgence on your view.
Okay, well, good. Now, you see, I have already explained to you that the mandate of the commission is not derived solely from one source. It is derived from the Constitution. It is derived from the Commission of Inquiries Act, insofar as it does not conflict with the Constitution. and the TOR.
Legal notice, yes.
Okay. Now, it does not mean that because you have that section 202, meaning a commission may act only in respect of interim orders, because the commission, looking at the TOR as well as the Commission of Inquiry Act, can actually make orders. And we made several orders. But in addition to that, that other section is enforcing, is really making it clear that the Commission of Inquiry can make interim order, but not to the exclusion of orders. It can make orders, that is well known, that is taken, but apart from orders, it can make interim orders. That is the interpretation, and that is what is really spoiling the minds of so many people.
When you say it can make orders, in distinction to interim orders, do you mean that the commission can make final orders?
Final order? Oh yes, in fact, it made final order. If, for example, there were a lot of cases, well, not court cases, cases brought to us, and we decided in our ruling, and the ruling is of the rulings we made were, although not called final orders, they were final orders.
Now, I must confess that this...
Well, the final order, in the sense that it goes to the finality of a particular issue, not in respect of a whole case or a whole matter.
I must confess that I did not want to get into any specifics, but it is quite interesting that you mentioned that the commission had the power to make orders and describe them as final orders. Perhaps the committee would benefit from one or two examples, if you could recall.
Now, okay, there are cases in the, I think it's better we go to the, it's better we go to 1 and 2. Do you have 1 and 2 yet? Ah, good. Now, in 1 and 2, you will see there is this called general introduction. It has about 50 pages or 40 pages. You've seen it? Sorry, you've seen it? Yeah.
Yes, carry on.
Okay. Now, towards this end, Okay, this is just one example, that
one should be sufficient.
okay, there is this case of SSHFC, that is Social Security.
Could you point us to the
Yes, page 25. 25. You see Social Security and Housing Finance.
That is Social Security and Housing Finance versus Augustus Prom.
Exactly.
In brackets, receiver.
Have you seen it? It's there, page 25.
On page 25 of volume 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Mr. Janeh, please carry on.
Yes, okay. Okay, maybe I'll start from, because I don't want to waste the time of the committee. But we come to 1, 2, 3, the fourth paragraph. August from the receiver objected on point of law to the motion filed. Counsel to the commission recused herself. That is, she wouldn't stay with the case, of course, because she had been the counsel for SSHFC, and it was not right for her to be the case. So she recused herself and got out of it. But then there was another lawyer from Musa Betty taking her place. That's why it is stated that Musa Betty temporarily replaced counsel Ventura. Lawyer Abdullah Siso appeared for SSHFC, and lawyer Jibril Ba appeared for August Prom. That is before us, not the High Court. Okay, because we said we had jurisdiction. I've already explained why. I made a reference to the High Court and so on. About 4 or 5 references in the Constitution. Okay, so we continue. The Commission ruled against SSHFC and dismissed the motion of SSHFC mainly on the ground that as a commission, we cannot usurp, that is USURP, take over the powers and responsibility of the High Court, which still had jurisdiction over the matter despite the arbitration. So there, it wasn't an interim order. It was an order by us. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about. By the way, I have to mention this. As far as the law is concerned, and this has been decided in the case of Upchas in second against the Attorney General. That was decided a long time ago. And it concerns also the Commission of Inquiry. The Commission of Inquiry has co-extensive or coordinate jurisdiction with the High Court. The High Court is not higher than the Commission of Inquiry, and the Commission of Inquiry is not higher. This is why the appeal, any appeal from the Commission of Inquiry goes to the Court of Appeal, which is higher than both courts, and from the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court. But it does not go to the High Court. They are more or less equal in jurisdiction. That has to be noted always. Right? So this is one example. I'll tell you there are not necessarily in court rulings and so on.
Thank you, Mr. Janeh. Back to section 2021.
Yes,
In its relation to 2022. Again, just to guide, 2021 of the Constitution.
202. Yes, I got it. 202. 202 and yes, and 202.
2, yes.
Yes.
I will make a proposition and ask you to comment on it.
Yes. What's the proposition?
The proposition is that 2021 lays out the functions, the general functions of the Commission of Inquiry. And 2022 lays out the powers, the general powers of the Commission of Inquiry. And these two must be read together because in executing those functions, those powers are necessary. So the interim orders or whatever orders ought to be made in execution of the function which is diluted in 2021. Would you agree?
That is a difficult question because the Commission of Inquiry, as is put here in 202, the Commission of Inquiry shall have all the powers, the rights, and privileges of a judge of the High Court at a trial in respect of, then it goes, enforcement, in respect of compelling the production of documents. Yeah, that's another example. If you can order the production of documents, just as your committee here.
Yes.
I say that's another example.
My question is,
okay. The question, let's have it again.
yes, I would like a comment on the question.
Yeah.
It is understood, just to avoid that, it is understood that 2022 gives the commission its powers, and its power in relation to a high court at trial, which is powers of compelling. 2022, yes. 2022, yes. Powers of enforcing.
Not only powers, rights, and privileges.
Yes, of compelling witnesses, documents, issuing of requests for examination of witnesses, whether here or abroad, and interim powers. And these are powers that a high court at trial would usually have. Now, I do not wish to go on a full-blown argument here. For the benefit of the committee, what we wish to establish is it the case that 2022 is provided for to ensure the smooth running of 2021, if I can put it in a different way? Is that the case? Or do they stand
just partly, because if that was the case, then you would not have had what I quoted just in the first session. And it is this. Let me quote it again, you'll see for yourself.
So you voted 204 and 205?
No.
As well as 206.
206, I want to refer to. If what you say was correct, then there would not have been 206. An act of parliament, sorry, not parliament, with respect, an act of the National Assembly may make further provision for the purposes of this chapter, the whole chapter. That was for the National Assembly to do. And I told you that this same thing appears in the Commission of Inquiry Act of 1903, I believe. I don't have it here. But if you have it, you look at it. That was a long time ago. But through neglect, if I may use that word, I'm sorry, that was never done. Now, and subject to any such act. So it says that if the National Assembly does that through an act of the National Assembly, the power conferred by law to make rules of court for the superior courts. And I've told you that in fact this would have comparatively we call high court, which is a superior court, because of everything I've quoted here, making the comparison, and because of the case of Aptias II, which was a judgment of the Court of Appeal. Sorry, yes, Court of Appeal, and probably it also went to the Supreme Court, which agreed with it. Probably, I'm not sure, but I'm absolutely certain of the Court of Appeal, and it is very, very regularly quoted. Stated that the High Court and the Commission of Inquiry are co-extensive. That's the word we use in the law. Co-extensive. That is, they are almost going the same way, equally. Yeah. Or coordinate. Sometimes they use the word coordinate.
Yes,
Sorry, well,
that is not in dispute. I want to
continue.
That's fine, but that is not in dispute. The lecture has been extensive, and
because you are a lawyer.
Indeed.
But there are people listening. They won't understand.
Perhaps if we could get to the point that the committee is interested in, and then I would allow you to elaborate.
Yeah.
So, the point is...
But I want to finish what I'm reading. Cancel.
I'll do, please.
Cancel. But Mr. Janeh, sorry.
Yeah, I think it is important for you to help the committee with regards to specific questions raised by the council.
Yeah.
Now, you can respond based on the question.
Yeah.
Perhaps you have anything to add on a little bit.
Yeah.
We can allow you, but if it goes beyond what we're expecting from you, perhaps we'll also devote our time.
Okay.
So
I agree. What's the question?
He'll go on that.
What is the specific question?
The specific question, and before I ask the specific question, Mr. Janeh.
Well, we are wasting time again. You see? I mean, that's your rule again. That is, you give a specific question, and I'll give a specific answer. Surely, I mean,
I'll give Mr. Janeh I'll give you a specific question.
I'm not being unfair. I want you really to be fair to me.
I will be
citing. You cannot cut me off like that. I have to finish. Really?
That's fine.
I agree with the chairman. You can ask a specific question, I'll give a specific answer. But if it is general, I have to give a general answer.
Inshallah. The question now?
Yes, I'm ready. Yes.
Fantastic. Mr. Janeh.
Yes.
When you look at section 2021,
Yeah.
and read it together with section 2022,
Yes.
is it so that section 2021 spells out the functions of the Commission of Inquiry, and 2022 spells out the powers of the Commission of Inquiry, and the powers being used to execute the function? Is that specific?
I will say yes, but more is added. And I wish to tell you the more added.
And we're in agreement. Yes.
The supplement to 206, we said an act of the National Assembly, that is Parliament, the National Assembly, that is your honorable gentleman here. Well, not you alone, with your colleagues, of course. Yeah. An act of the National Assembly may make further provision for the purpose of this chapter. That is what we are reading now. And subject to any such act, the power conferred by any law to make rules of court for the superior courts shall be deemed to include power to make the rules regulating the procedure and practice of all commissions of inquiry. Surely this is what should have created.
I do not disagree with you, Mr. Janeh. totally agree.
Yes, okay.
Would you agree with me that the Commission of Inquiry Act is indeed an act of Parliament?
Yes, I've said so already.
Would you be surprised to know that it spells out the power exactly as Section 2022 spells it out?
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
In fact, it was amended to adapt to Section 2022.
I see. But the
And
amendment,
it doesn't go, the amendment is exactly what is entailed in Section 2022. And it doesn't go beyond it. Would you be surprised to know that?
the amendment, how can the amendment be put in a constitution? Surely that is,
I'm referring to the act.
it's music to me.
I'm referring to the act.
That the act amended,
The act has amendments to it.
yeah,
And those amendments capture the essence, in fact, verbatim wording of Section 2022.
well, this is what I'm saying. I'm not aware of that amendment.
Okay.
If you would want me to look at it,
Sure, you can look at
but
it.
it is still existed.
It is still
To the
existing.
extent that it does not contradict
Not
the
at all.
Constitution.
In fact, it's exactly what is in the Constitution.
So it does not make any difference.
And that is my point.
Yeah, then what I'm saying is the National Assembly should have come out with the rules, stating that it is stated shall be deemed to include power to make rules regulating the procedure and practice of commissions of inquiry. In fact, this power was transferred to the Rules Committee of the High Court. That's why I keep on emphasizing the High Court being coordinate jurisdiction with the Commission of Inquiry.
That's why I'm
In
suggesting.
fact, I'm stating this because I'd be very happy if the Commission of Inquiry would here. Sorry, not the Commission of Inquiry,
committee.
the Committee of
The Special Senate Committee.
yeah, I say I'd be glad if they take this to Parliament, since there are so many commissions of inquiry coming, so that we'll have the rules. That is why I say Section 2021 and Section 202, they do provide some, but not all. They do not provide for the rules of the rules of the Commission of Inquiry. And we have to use our discretion to have rules.
Thank you. Thank you.
Simple as that. Definitely. That's all.
I'm grateful for your answer.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I would also share with you, perhaps at the end,
Yeah.
a judgment by the High Court, by the Supreme Court,
Yeah. Well, sorry.
as recent as 2018.
2018.
Yes, on the same issues.
Yeah. You may not agree with what I'm saying,
Well,
but I'm not familiar with the.
well, I will provide you a judgment on the same issues as the Yasin case.
Well,
A very recent judgment. I'll provide it to you.
I want to know whether they are in agreement with practice set up or not.
Well, it will come as news to you that they are in a slight disagreement because they restrict, in fact, the powers of the Commission with respect to what is spelled out in 2022. But I don't wish for us to
I don't know.
bore the committee members with law.
Yeah.
I will share it with you.
Yeah, but
and perhaps we
I'm
can do
saying
it.
that of course, I don't know the name of
I
the,
will share it with you.
but whatever the name, I'm not aware of it.
All right. And
But you are talking of 2018 anyway.
yes,
Yeah, I would also like to tell you, and I think it is here,
indeed.
all right, that I retired from the law not so long ago. Yeah.
In fact, I had the pleasure of being at the board.
Oh, okay. Well, so you must have had a lot of things, and that's why I wanted to put this in evidence if it is allowed. Mr. Chairman.
As you please, Honorable Chair, would you permit that?
It shows a lot about it, and written by.
Does it go to the issues?
It is written 2 months or 3 months before he died by Papa Mike, 2 times Attorney General in the Ghana, with strong people backing him as editor. ABG, O.N. Tao, Edward Bennett, Aidat Raja, and Usman Wright, the son. So, the editor, explorer, was asking the committee whether I can put it in.
But we do have the committee that interjected, not council.
Oh, I didn't hear. Sorry.
No, yeah, so I'm asking if the document is going to help us in our job,
Yes.
we will gladly admit, but if not,
Well, I tell you why. Because I've been asked. Sorry. I've been asked like counsel here. From my CV. This definitely is in connection with my CV. So the question why he asked about my CV was to test. I don't know what is in he said, but probably one of the reasons was to test my competence. And that is proved thoroughly by this. Because you have competent people, like Moby Juice, Pastor, Sheriff Boyan, Hashim Sise, Ode Gale, Ade Brame, Peter Gomez, and Adam Boy as the editorial. And the chief editor is Dr. Cherno Omar Bai. So, this is very important.
Honorable Chair, just for the record, for the sanity of the record, I would like to say unequivocally that with utmost respect to you, Mr. JANNEH, that was not the question. And my question did not ask for your CV and would not, and would never question your competence to oversee the commission. The question was rather whether the appointing authority had put you through any vetting mechanisms to filter out conflict of interest. That was the extent of the question. It did not go to your competence, and I want to make that very clear.
Yeah, but appointing authority, who do you mean?
President, of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All that is part of it.
I will allow the committee to conclude on that. However, on the issue of the document, I would allow the chair also to conclude on that. However, I would also mention to the witness that that exact document has been submitted to Parliament, and whatever is submitted to Parliament is at the disposal of the committee. So it need not be.
Sorry, which document is that?
The document you referred to, which is not in the evidence of this particular committee, but it's
Which particular document? Is
the document you just referred to.
it this document?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
It is at the disposal of Parliament, indeed,
Oh, Parliament, yes.
of the National Assembly.
Do you have a copy of the Mr. Chairman? You have a copy. All of you have copies. No. Just I'll give the copies to those who really take that.
but that's fine. I think
About this magazine.
There is no problem at all.
Well, so if you do not object, I wish to tender it. I wish to tender it.
It's at the discretion of the committee.
Officially. Yes, okay. So you can mark it, please. Huh? So can we mark it?
So, Honorable Chair, I propose that we mark the document as part of the statements. If that is agreeable to you, Honorable Chair, the SBS 1B.
SBS
1B.
All right. Admitted.
Okay.
So at this juncture, Honorable Chair, I would pass the baton back to you. But before I do, I would like to thank the witness and also to inform the witness that, through you, of course, that this is just the first hearing. We definitely need your attendance, Mr. Janneh, on a later date to go into the specific issues dealt with by the Commission. Honorable Chair, back to you.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mr. Janneh.
Thank you.
Thank you for appearing. Members of the committee also will have questions for clarity.
All right, I'll be glad to answer.
Exactly, from what you already, said, perhaps from the questions raised by the council.
Yeah.
So we will make sure we confine ourselves within the subject, and if we can have more clarity on some of the things that are not being clear to them.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we'll start with Honorable Interim.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Janneh, witness. My first question is just the difficulty we have with the council, but it's not contentious, just about this being the JANNEH Commission. Since we are the chairperson of the JANNEH Commission, so it's dubbed JANNEH Commission.
Yeah.
Would you all get it?
Sorry, darling, you mean?
Yes.
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 Oh, yes.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I will say this is not the first time.
Yeah.
Like Gali's commission was Gali's commission.
Exactly.
And many others behind.
Yeah.
In the past 50 years.
Yeah. Now, I was just thinking that you made a lot of argument over it, so I thought that maybe you don't want to.
No. I just wanted to be
Okay. Good.
that is really JANNEH commission at first.
Yes, thank you. Also, the order of the High Court on May 22nd, 2017 was an interim injunction ordering GLMA, and the Parks and Wildlife to take control of the movable assets, mainly animals.
Okay.
To your knowledge and information, has the GLMA and Wildlife carried out the order? If not, what are the reasons
that one must have forgotten or maybe. Oh, sorry. Yes. With that question, really, I can't answer now because I can't recall. Yeah. I can't recall. Yeah. If it is important, I will probably do more searching and see. Or maybe my other colleagues may know something about it. Yeah. Can you request? So, yeah.
Very important.
Sorry?
I said that question is very important. Now, you can help the committee to do more research on that and provide us with any evidence that you can have with regards to that particular issue. Very important for the committee, yeah?
Yes, I better write the name so that I will.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What's sorry? What the?
You refer to the injunction by the High Court, GIMA, Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency.
Yeah, Gambia Livestock. The what order
that German and Wildlife take control of the animals, assets.
Yeah.
So I was saying, to your knowledge, did they carry out, did they actually implement the order?
Who made that order?
Did the High Court make the order?
Yes, High Court.
Yes.
That the Gambia Livestock Marketing Board,
And wildlife.
and wildlife, yes. Wildlife. Yes, the take possession
Yes.
of what? Of the livestock.
Yes.
Of the livestock. Or that was before our own commission
Yes.
was
Yes.
issued.
Yes.
Okay.
The other was done before the commission was
Yeah,
established.
about 2 months or 3 months.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So your interest, of course, is in whether
Whether they've actually implemented the order, and if they don't, what reason did they advance?
okay,
Whether
whether the company well, currently
the institutions actually
the institution
implemented the order.
okay, thank you very much.
Implemented.
Institution implemented. Or-
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. This is JANNEH.
Yes.
Since you are the chairperson of the commission of inquiry into general assets. Did you recently actually appointed any staff? If I get it,
Never.
yes. And if you did not, who do you specifically think might have apart from the Secretary General? Who actually did the appointment?
Okay, apart from the secretary of the committee.
Yes.
Well, it may well be that the lead counsel also appointed going through the Ministry of Justice as well as the IG of Police. It may well be because there was really a good relationship between lead counsel and the Attorney General concerning cost. Because it was the Attorney General that appointed the lead counsel, and he did not have a budget. So the easiest way of getting to the Attorney General with regard to the needs of the commission was usually given to the lead counsel. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Mr. JANNEH,
Yeah.
in the general introduction that was read, Sex of general finance services and corruption, bank accounts in the paragraph. We have been regarding August 12 and the social security.
Yeah.
In that paragraph,
You have to.
yes,
Yeah. Where is it volume? Oh, here. Yes, volume 1.
yes,
So, page
25,
page 20.
the second to last paragraph,
Yes, 25.
which you read.
Okay, 20. Page 25.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, that's correct. Social security.
exactly.
Yes.
So what exact order did you read in that paragraph? I cannot understand.
Yes. Okay. On the social security.
Exactly. Because actually remember the order, and say you remember the order.
It's because of the nature of in the law. Yeah. It will be negative or positive. Okay. So this may be an example of the negative order. That we order that you do not do this. We refuse. I'll tell you exactly what they do. They want that that's social security. A court of the High Court had already ruled that their case must go to the for arbitration. They want to appoint arbitrator, and the arbitrator will give the final judgment. Now, they went behind, that is SSCFC, behind the court, and came in the hope that we would allow them to take hold of the hotel. Although that court was still pending, and we said that that's not done, because we cannot take over the power of the court. We could not use the power of the court. That was what happened. So we refused. Yes, that they go back to the court. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Janeh, for helping the committee with the various questions we have. Thank you for the time you've taken today. Now, I have two questions that I need clarifications on. And the first one is the working relationship you had with the visitor system. What was the working relationship like? Because they were appointed by the court. How are you working together? How was the relationship like?
Well, our storm was that was the only thing our problem needed. For instance, Mr. Babajo had a huge property, really huge, especially when compared to other properties situated in Yara. And there were many tenants. God knows how many years. They didn't pay food, not a food, not a food in terms of rent. So, we went to Soma, we traveled to Soma, not for that purpose, but well, when we saw that huge building and somebody said, somebody was the owner. We said, well, we have to go and ask what's going on. So we went to each and every shop and investigated. They all agreed that, oh yes, we are tenants here, and we are only people. So how much were you paying? They said this some $3,000. Not the total area, because it was a big money. I can't remember. That was when we appointed. But we were appointment of Trump to be the receiver. All the money, and that maybe council will say that we haven't read that yet. But we never touched that account. The account was only to do with money. Of the money resulting from the control of some properties, like this example I'm giving. And I understand from made a lot of money out of the. I can't remember, but it must have been for about 7 or 8 years. No payment. Okay. And They did a very good job from did a very good job. The only thing that all the commissioners and from was that from wanted 10% throughout. And we said, really, 3% would do. And he disagreed, and that was what separated us. Okay. That's okay.
So that would be correct to say that the working was very good until we disagreed with terms and conditions.
Exactly. Thank you.
Now, the other aspect of my question actually relates to the budget, because when I go to the work of the commission, it seems you work for almost 18 months, it seems.
Exactly.
Now, the commission also realized that you mentioned more than once that you didn't have a budget. How were you operating without a budget for 18 months? And I know you may have some operational expenses. How were these paid for by the commission?
Yes, there was this man, and he was working for the Ministry of Justice, but also liaising with the accountant general. But we address everything concerning money to the Ministry of Justice. So they did not liaise with the Minister of Finance. You know better than I. Sometimes we go for finance, but I don't know. But the money was paid, and we didn't have money. We never took any money from what was being collected, except at the end of the day when the boss. We couldn't have taken any money. None of us were senators. The senators were general people. So at the end of the day, the whole money went to the Ministry of Justice, probably letting it be in some account. I don't know. But I didn't see it in a piece of paper. Was that initially the TRRC came just after. But we all know how broke this country was. But some are saying, like my father, there was nothing in it. Maybe some of you have heard of that. So the initial money that they used for the startup of the TRRC, I understand, was collected from the money we got.
So essentially, all the operational needs of the commission was just a matter of to this party, that's the way behind the and to ensure that this is met.
Even not only other people, but even our salary or allowance or whatever you call it. Okay. I can tell you.
Yes. I know there's another area also in the council actually has touched on monuments, and if you keep repeating also the issue of section 2 of the Independence and Constitution, which already so I know you keep going on with him. I'm here is actually saying an act of national provision for the purposes of this chapter, which was about chapter 206. But then when you look at the Commission of Inquiry, 1903, like we said earlier, on the clause 9, the Commission powers for regulating citizens. And in it, it says the commissioners acting under this act may make strict rules for their own guardians and the conduct and management of proceedings before them. and sometimes it's very interesting like that. So now I'm trying to know the issue as far as making all rules are concerned, because of the act itself granted you on the particular course how you make your rules without hindrance and also without interventions of anybody.
Yeah. Well, probably you have this secretary so that it would be for all commission. Just this 1943 Act. But I do not know why the rules were made by, as I said, we had only draft rules.
Yeah.
Only draft because they were not completed. But what we know, we did not make rules for ourselves. Because it is very difficult to make rules for yourself. When you keep on seeing a commission of affairs involving the president, going on and on, involving others, expanding. It's very difficult at the same time dealing with this thing and dealing with it regularly. But I'm very happy to know of that provision for Nigeria. I'm very happy.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Janne. Now, the last question I have relates to the TOR. I've related earlier also, I think it's very clear. Now, if you look at the other two commissioners, it says their council of protection was attached to their letter of, appointment. But the university didn't say that. You as the chairperson of the commission, did you have a look at the chair of the other commissioners, or the lead council, or the secretary? Do you by any chance have seen those TORs in the commission?
No, but I assume that we had the same because of what we got. What I read here, my own.
Yeah.
And because they themselves, they did not mention of any difference between what is their TOR and what is in my TOR. And they showed me nothing that was different between their TORs and
So except that you are the chairperson.
except that and I don't even think now that what they have is different from what we acted on.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yes, but wouldn't the importance of the chairperson of the commission to, particularly the lead council and also the secretary who are appointed to work with you to know exactly what the TORs actually are?
Yeah,
Would be important to do so.
yeah.
Okay, but we don't have a chance to take a look at their TORs.
Because there was no query whatsoever. It was the same.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, and then
Thank you very much.
it's just now aware of those letters, but if you want
Thank you very much, Chair. And thank you to the limit cultural Mr. Janne. The question with regards to in your statement on SC1. SC2, second page. Yes, and on that page. B. SBS, BS1.
that.
Yes. You will read that page. On the where you go to the line will be and the 99 confusion on this section 206. the application in 1903 Act. We look at the duties of the commission defined.
That's the act.
The act.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know.
Okay. Because we look at the name of the section 201 of the constitution. It's not valid.
Oh, if that is the case, definitely the constitution will be here.
So this one,
Sorry?
the constitution will be. Okay.
Will simply be discarded.
Yeah, the same one. Yeah, the WTO is by the same book on the page number 4. The terms of reference and the term of the commission. But the TO are given to the three commissioners is available. So how many commissioners are you?
When they do so, including my.
So if you are using TO are available.
Yeah. And that's what I assume all the time.
Yeah, the one is I never bust. It's like the one that I didn't give to you.
No. The one they were using was probably used by them.
But you are
I have my own. Yeah, that's what made me believe that they were virtually the same. Apart from the letter, we have just put it there. I think there is that. It's for you to look at it, but I believe that the two are the same. But the letter makes everyone believe that they were different. But it's for you to check. What my colleagues have appeared here.
No.
Only when you are. And that is what I have.
Is with the development according to the yes, and now especially relates to the your budget.
Yeah.
During the consultation with the council, an area mentioned that you had a meeting in your team to decide on a specific period of 3 months, when it's alien, or when it may on a basis.
It is said, or it was said, that the allowance would be given to monthly. But I can tell you, in fact, it appears somewhere in the report that the last payment probably took 4 months or so. I mean, we didn't regularly receive our it wasn't regular at all.
But they are doing monthly basis instead of one payment.
This was happening. Sometimes we would have arrears of 2 months, 3 months. But we were prepared to sacrifice.
And then the other thing to number 10, you want to be conversation, you never about this. Yes,
10. Oh, sorry, there's no page there. Yeah, number 10.
Some of the questions of the
you change some copies of evaluation report available in the submitted document.
Yeah, you change the investigation. Those who don't know the team.
Yeah, the secretary and investigator maybe of that is the investigating.
So is it?
Who are investigating, who are general under the lead counsel, who was appointed by the Attorney General. Well, that I wouldn't know that. But I believe that a lot of them were from the idea of police. Because somewhere it is stated that the idea of police would provide us with necessary. Now, you definitely talking about exactly. It's very.
It's okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jan. Now, to the academic of staff at the beginning, more especially around individuals who seem to be conflicted, taking reference from Augustus versus social security. What was the position of the Commission after advising the executive to the Ministry of Justice on certain appointments that the members of the Commission might think there are individuals who are conflicted?
Well, that one is clear. You see, if you have a big commission, or even really a small commission, and the lead counsel is in private practice. I know this because I've been in private practice for broadcasting. You see, you are bound to get into a situation where you are conflicted. So your duty at once is to recuse yourself, get out of it. This is the best practice everywhere. You just get out. I'm not doing it because I'll be conflicted. And that was exactly what happened in this case. Yeah. We did not ask lead counsel to recuse herself. She did it from the word go. And the client had to have a substitute lawyer. This is definitely, but especially in a small country like the Gambia, if you are a prominent lawyer, you are bound to come against conflict, and it is for you to get out of it.
Can I come with a follow-up question?
Yes.
Maybe that could help you to better explain again.
Yeah.
Now, in this situation where lead counsel was one time the legal practitioner for the ex-president or for the former president, don't you think from the word go, when he was appointed as the lead counsel to the commission, he was very conflicted? He wasn't? Is it that he was not conflicted from the word go, knowing our past history in terms of our legal representation?
Well, first of all, I have to tell you that I didn't know that she was the legal counsel for the president. But my answer is exactly the same as before. If you are a prominent lawyer having many cases, because I've got that experience for a long time, and you know you are in conflict or you will be in conflict, you recuse yourself. Not generally, but for specific oversight. Because if it is general, then nothing will work. Nothing will work. Nothing. Because you go with a commission, 1 month, there is a conflict, so you get out, you take another one. There is another conflict. I mean, it's impossible. What you do is, for that point, you forget about it. But for all that, you continue. This is my experience.
Mr. Gallagher,
Yeah.
for me, my point here is
Yeah.
the new council
Yeah.
was serving the ex-president.
Oh, that's the fact.
I will briefly take it up. Yes, okay, you might not know. You might not know. But in a situation
Yeah.
where this is the fact, what should be the style of the commission?
If the commission knew that, I'm putting it in another way, from my understanding, you are asking if the commission of the inquiry knew that at the time, lead counsel was the lawyer of the president of the republic, what would we do? Nothing for the time being. But if she did everything that led us, that led us to the conclusion that she was biased towards the president of the republic, then we would advise her to quit. If for a particular point she refused or did not refuse him or herself. That is very, very simple.
No, that is okay, sir. I think I got it. You have been talking about budget.
Yeah.
And from what you shared with us is that the commission was sorting the funds from the Ministry of Justice. Just to ask,
I added maybe.
okay, just allow my question to come, that will help you out. Maybe finance, but through the Ministry of Justice, because I think that was the fact before us yesterday.
Yeah, that's
Exactly. So my question is, a commission without financial autonomy, do you think they can execute the duties as expected?
Well, it depends on the commission. If it was a commission of 3 months, definitely I would say that's a problem because it's just 1 month, that's a short time. But where a commission of the president extended to 1 year, 18 months, no. Because it so many on one occasion, we were all to go to Manchester, and we had to go because otherwise we would lose a lot of time, and we really needed all the time. There was no money, and I'm not boasting, but and with the lead counsel joining in, everybody would that was, I really wanted to now 1916 that sorry 2026 very emotional. And the potential, yeah, the problem of war in this is different from the atmosphere now. You would have
Mr. Jana, just a final one. And that will lead us to your statement that you can and on question 24. That would be ST1, right? SB1A. Yes. SB1A. Question.
yes, sorry. What can you read it? If I can find it.
SB1A number 24 of your statement.
Yeah, I can see the statement.
Okay, and I can read it if you don't mind.
Yes.
Share with your permission. Yeah,
S1 you have.
SB1A. Your own statement.
Yes, that's what I'm
That is fine.
Yes, today.
Today, yes.
Yeah, I don't want to waste time. I do have a couple. Thank you. Let me read it.
Yes, 24, and I read with the permission of the chair.
Yes.
Last page 24, it says, unfortunately, we face considerable challenges with documentation and record keeping. Over the years, many important documents were lost or destroyed due to offices relocation. By the time and the passage of time, since the commission's dissolution, at one point, our documents could have been a quarter of this committee room. Today, some records simply no longer available, and I acknowledge that my memory may not be sharp, may not be as sharp due to age